Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a video on reincarnation, and I actually filmed this last week sometime, but I had a lot of interruptions, like a lot so I'm not even going to bother with trying to edit it and things like that. So hopefully I won't have as many. Right now I'm feeding the baby, so you may hear her drinking, and I'm doing this because soon I'm hoping to get out 2 videos today, and soon I need to pick up my daughter from the school bus stop, so multitasking. And I just know when she's here I just won't have the time, because by that time I have to start dinner after I get her, and so on and so forth, and it'll just be hectic. So I wanted to briefly talk about my thoughts on reincarnation, and I actually would love if this became like a discussion, maybe to see what others think, or whether they believe in it or not, or their views on it. But basically mine are that I do believe in reincarnation, and I have believed in reincarnation, I think, pretty much for most of my life. And even though I was raised Catholic, and that totally goes against Catholic thought or Christian thought and belief, to me, I don't know, I always just held true that there was such a thing as reincarnation. I believe that I myself have been reincarnated a few times, and to me, the reason why I say that is, well, I've had past life readings done, and it's not so much that I've had them done and people say, oh, you've had past lives, and I'm like, wow, okay, yes, I have past lives. But it was more of the things they told me in the reading that kind of rang true for me, especially, okay, one of the things I believe about reincarnation is that you bring with you something from previous life, whether it's your thoughts, your beliefs, a knowing of some sort. I feel that our past lives do move on with us, or come into being with us, and by that I mean, I'm really explaining this bad. Okay, for me, I have always had some kind of affinity for Native American history, East Indian culture, Egyptian history and culture, ancient Egyptian history and culture, things like that. I've also had a fascination with, like, the Orient, you know, like Asian countries as well. And when I've had, in a few of the past life readings I've had, I've not had it done by the same person. I've had a couple of people who have done them, but they bring up things in them that rings true to me about the things that I've had this, and it's not an interest. It goes deeper than an interest, and I don't want to call it an obsession, because if it was, I would have definitely done a whole lot more research than I've had on these areas. But it's definitely a feeling of a connectedness with these things, and in some, by at least two different people, I have been a priestess or a supplicant of a deity of some sort. Some were Hindu gods, some were Egyptian deities, and yeah, I've had a connection with Native American culture for quite some time. Well, ever since I was a child. And it was maybe a year or two ago is when I found out from my grandfather that his mother was Native American. She's from the Wampanoag tribe, upstate New York in Rhode Island. And his father was East Indian. So there's also that. There's that blood connection as well. I feel that we reincarnate because there are lessons we need to learn. And until we learn those lessons, we can't move on past those lessons. I feel that if in one incarnation, if you have not learned that life lesson in which you were incarnated for to learn, then you will incarnate again to learn that lesson. And I feel that you most likely will also be subject to the same pattern of events. Obviously, it can't be the same exact events, but the same pattern of events until you learn those life lessons. And once you do, you incarnate to learn whatever life lesson you need to learn again, but you move on with the knowledge of what you've previously learned. Now, I'm not saying that you remember, oh yes, I had a past life and I had to learn this lesson, and now I know I'm here to learn this lesson. I don't mean that way, but I mean it more enhances your character, who you are. So let's say in a past life you were a very closed off person. And by closed off I mean you did not accept change, you did not accept anything different than what you believed or you felt to be true. And in that past life, eventually you learned that this was not the way. You need to be more open. You need to be more accepting. And so in your next incarnation, that comes with you. You are a more accepting person. You are a bit more open to different things and new ideas. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's so bright. I've really got to figure out a good place to do videos in this place, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. Maybe it's that top light. Maybe next time I'll not have that top light on. But when I don't have a light on, it's so dark in here. Well, I'll see if I have another light source. But anyways, I digress. So I also feel that I don't necessarily believe in a heaven or hell. I do believe there is somewhere that the soul goes until it's ready to be incarnated again. But ultimately, once you have learned, or the soul has evolved to the point where there is nothing else it needs to learn, I believe that it goes back to source, in which that knowledge is shared infinitely. It's shared, throughout time and space. I don't know how to describe it, but this is not something I've done research on, and I think I will, because reincarnation has always fascinated me. So if there's any suggestion of books or websites or groups or any information you have you'd like to share, I welcome that down below. Yeah, I don't know. I've also heard of the Akashic Records, which is everywhere, and also I've been doing a lot of research on Cometicism, and in so doing, they also discuss about the Akashic Records. I have not really a deep understanding of what the Akashic Records are per se, so that's another thing that I want to learn more about and get more information on. And again, if you have any suggestions about that as well, anything you'd like to add or share, that would be great. But I would like this to become a discussion, really. I know this is kind of short, I'm trying to feed the baby and do what I can, all the things I have to do, but I invite you all to participate in the discussion, even if you wish to share it. Maybe I'll put this video up on my Facebook page as well. Maybe get a discussion going there on Facebook if possible. But yeah, so that's a brief, I guess, thing on my thoughts on reincarnation. So again, I welcome your inputs, to participate. If you decide to actually do a video response, that would be great as well. Just leave in the comments down below that you did, so that I know to check it out, because I don't think you can link those things anymore. So, you know, it is what it is. So yes, so thank you for watching, and blessed be.